Awesome. Well, welcome back, everyone, to our International Children's Month Global Day of Action. My name is Heidi Little. I'm here with my co host, Raheen Fatima. And we've had a big day. We are here with We the World, Rick Ulfik, Monica Willard, Muhammad, Suzanne. Oh, what a panel we have for you right now, I'll tell you what. So we're gonna talk about how do we build a world that works for all, and I would like to just go around the room and hear who everyone is, and then we'll dive into that question of how do we build a world that works for all. So just a little bit about each one of you. Raheen, would you like to start? Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. And something just came to my mind, Heidi. Do you know how long we've been like doing this?
No.
We have been on for 9 hours and 20 minutes. I just calculated that.
9 hours and 20 minutes. Well,
That is awesome.
this is what
I've
love and
never
action
been up
looks
that
like,
long.
sounds like, and feels like. Okay, we got it.
I know, right? So, coming back to the convo. So,
How
my
old
name
are
is
you?
Raheen,
Yeah, right. I'm like, how
and
old are you? Tell everybody how old you are. I love that part.
yeah, and I am 13 from Islamabad, Pakistan. I think Monica didn't know that. I don't know why. She's had this class.
Yeah.
And I am co-hosting with Heidi Little. I am a stand-up comedian, writer, entrepreneur, teacher, theater actress, interviewer, child rights, and a peace activist. And the goal of my life is to empower everybody around me, care de race, religion, caste, or the creed. And this has been a very long day, evening, night, midnight for me. So, and it's fun. And it is only for the love of people that I am here and for the International Children's Global Day of Love. And today we're here with We the World and a panel on peace building with Monica Willard, Susan Argaraski, Mohammed Talks, and the great Rick Ulfik. Hi, Rick. How are you doing?
Good. Good to see you.
So can you please introduce yourself so we can get this going?
Okay, good. So my name is Rick Ulfik, and I'm the founder of We the World and the We campaign at we.net. So if anybody is interested in learning more about We the World, you can just go to we.net, and everything that we're doing is there to see and get involved with. So I founded We the World a long time ago, even before you were born, Raheen and Mohammed, and probably Susan as well. I founded it in 1998, and
Wow.
probably the biggest thing that we did was has been 11 days of global unity, and we're coming to our 17th anniversary of that. We started that in 2004, and Monica Willard, who we're going to meet in a moment, was a big part of the opening, the launch of 11 Days. But the main point is that the 11 Days of Global Unity has become 11 campaigns for change. And you are all invited to get involved with any or all of them. And they include unity, interdependence, environment, economic justice, health, children and youth, women, human rights, freedom, disarmament, and peace. So it's a blueprint for global transformation, and we have over 600 organizations that have signed up to participate with us, collaborate on one or more of these campaigns. So that's it for me at the moment. Let's hear from someone
Amazing,
else.
Rick.
Thank you.
Amazing. So you know what? I'm gonna be very honest. I thought you were part of We the World, but I did not. Honestly, I did not know you founded it. And this is the first time I'm knowing about this. Considering we've been working together for a year now,
That's true.
exactly a year, 40 minutes to a year together. So. I mean, I remember the first time I met Rick, he was so warm and very welcoming into the panel discussion that we had. And now I know, oh my God, he handles the operations and everything. So he's very humble and very sweet. So happy to have you on the panel. And next we have Monica Willard. Hi, Monica.
Hello, Rasheen. I love your energy. I am so excited to be on this panel with an intergenerational format here. This is really exciting. And I've known Rick since 1998 when we did the season for nonviolence together. And
Right.
so to have followed We the World, to have been a part of it, and a trusted colleague at the UN. It's been exciting to be with you and to see it grow, Rick. And to be here today, I
Thank you.
represent the United Religions Initiative, URI. And we are in 108 countries, including Pakistan. And I think we may have some cooperation circles in Algeria as well. I know that we have some in Hawaii, which is certainly not another country, but it's we measure the North American region by the states and the countries as well. But I am here because peace, youth, the environment, and basically what I do at the UN is the International Day of Peace. And as you might have noticed from Rick, We the World, it's 11 days, go for 11 days leading from September 11th to the 21st of September, the set date for the International Day of Peace. And Rick's story on how they emerged and why we started working together go back even before September 11th, 2001, because we just were working on the season for nonviolence, which grew into the season for interfaith cooperation and the season for an environment, and the interconnectedness of the issues that we are facing. Some are amazing challenges, others are just so deep-setted that we need to shift so that we can build the world we want to be. So I thank you for having me on this panel today, and I turn it back to you.
Yeah, Monica, thank you so much for that. And the reason I'm still very energetic in the middle of the night is because I'm 2 large cold coffees down. I think that's probably the reason that I am so energetic, because I got my braces tightened this morning and my mouth hurts bad. It hurts bad. So that is that. And it's very intergenerational because I highly, and I think everybody at ICN, and I believe We the World as well, just like to promote the intergenerational harmony with all of our panels and our events and everything that we do, because unless or until we're not united, well, nothing good happens. So, you get the point. So, yeah, thank you so much, Monica, and I would love to work with you in the future and have an interview with you. Thank you. Let's move on to Susan. Susan, are you there? Can you please introduce yourself?
Yes, hi, my name is Susan Aragaki, and I'm here from Maui, Hawaii, and I'm here to represent the Love, Peace, Harmony Foundation, and to tell you a little bit about what the foundation's mission is basically to help people be healthier and happier. And we are trying to raise a consciousness by singing a simple song, and the song is called Love, Peace, and Harmony. And it carries a very high frequency and vibration. It was given to Master Sha, and he is our spiritual father. And he just asked the divine for a song, and this is what came through. And it is a very simple, easy to learn, profound and mighty little song that has been translated into countless languages and has spread all over the globe. And his goal is to teach 1.5 billion people by 2030. And that is just how we will light up the world and transform the world. You get to that tipping point and then just everything shifts, and that's our goal. So I know Rudy Dupla was on earlier. I don't know if you caught his segment, but he alone has a goal to teach 1 million people within 3 years. He's going through all different countries. He's based in Ghana. And so we are teaching children there. He has an amazing program with his Earth Green Africa and organization that is really a sustainable development He's doing a farming co-op with women, teaching all the women, and they're spreading it to their families. They're teaching kids in schools, and we have exciting things with other students too. In Ethiopia, we have another student that has already taught over 10,000 students there, Love, Peace, and Harmony, Tasha. And we have singers in North America, South America, Europe, Africa, Australia, Asia, India, every corner of the globe. So everyone is getting involved. And so I'm sharing a little bit of that. And also, I wanted to talk a little bit about Afghanistan too, because that is still near and dear to my heart. I've been supporting them as a USB volunteer for a while. So I don't know if we're just doing introductions now and we can go more into depth later on, but that's what I'm doing.
We can. Definitely. And Susan, I totally respect you for the work that you're doing, and that is amazing. Thank you so much. And she's joining us from Hawaii. And when I asked her before we went live what the time is, and I'm like, oh my God, it is 12 something. It is like a little above noon there, and it's like a little over 3 a.m. here. So I'm like, oh my God, the world is so diverse, so different, and God has blessed us so much. And Susan, guess what? We had Rudolph from Ghana in on our entrepreneurship and co-creation panel. Remember, Heidi? We had him in and he told us all about his mission, about women in farming and his SDGs and his different initiatives that he's carrying out. And let me tell you, who is one amazing individual. So we have already had him on for our international Children's Global Day of Action. Yeah, I'm almost forgetting it.
Entrepreneur and co-creation. That was a great panel. If anybody's curious about entrepreneurship and co-creation, it was amazing. We had billionaires on the panel along with others who are not billionaires, and everybody talked about how they did it and what the heart was behind it and why they did it. It was amazing. It was a very, very good panel. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the Mohammed is next, and then we can have more in-depth questions.
Hello, how are you? Hope you're doing well. I'm Muhammad Talks. I pretty much have introduced myself a couple times, and I'd like to thank everybody here. A brief introduction about myself. I love solar system, technology. I'm a motivational speaker. I speak on stages. I do podcasts. I write articles. I read books. I do many, many things. I'm a multitasker, and I don't really have one precise thing that I like to do, so I do 5 or 10 things a day.
So cute. And I think you just forgot to tell.
Sorry, Raheen.
I think you just forgot to say how effective of a communicator he is. The first time I saw him talk, it is about this today evening, nighttime. And I'm like, oh my God, he's so amazing. He moves his hands. He makes it a full experience when you listen to him talk. So fun having you on in the panel because he did not want to miss out on anything. So he insisted on being on the panel. So nice energy here.
It's very, very nice and cool to be on these panels. So I get to share experiences about lots of other cool things like peace in mind, reading books, maximum achievements, entrepreneurship. There's lots of cool ideas that I have in mind that we can share together.
I love it. And how old are you, Mohammed?
Oh, I'm 12 years old. I'm going to be 13.
And you are in, where are you again? Algeria.
I'm in Algeria. Precisely, I'm from Sila, so.
Gotcha. Perfect. Okay, fantastic. Well, now, I'm going to ask Raheen to kick us off because she has not answered this question all day. So, Raheen, in your lens and perspective and heart, how do we build a world that works for all?
Cool. Well, I sort of answered that, and then I didn't answer that. So instead of answering the question, I hosted 4 panels, to which I think contribute to a larger, more divine question of how do we build a world that works for all. So first is better education. I did a panel of that with a few of my close friends, nice educators, PBL gurus in the world, curriculum designers. Awesome. You can catch it on a couple of places on Facebook. You can just go to my Raheen Fatima and you can just catch it there as well. So that was that. First, the betterment of education. Second was the love, care, and respect of all youth on earth. Everybody respects children no matter how aged they are. And that is one way that we contribute to the greater question of how do we build a world that works for all? And then it is more entrepreneurship and co-creation, which is a huge panel. We invited very less people, and little of them confirmed, and then a lot of them sort of showed up. But it was amazing nonetheless. And more entrepreneurship and co-creation can help us build a world that works for all. And then last, but possibly not the least, is peace. More work towards peace in which I would consider more open dialogues with people from different races, cultures, generations, professional backgrounds, religious backgrounds to come together, have more open dialogues, which leads us to peace, then which leads us to building a better world for all. So yeah, that's my question. I pretty much implemented my question, so I'm proud of myself. You're muted. I think I've said that so much during the day, it almost made me crack up. Because I've said that in this panel alone like 2 times.
I said you designed, devised, and activated. So you did all of them. It was fantastic. Yay. And you're inspirational. So, all right. Thank you very much, Raheen. You're fabulous. Monica Willard, my friend who I can't wait to hear anything from your beautiful heart. So, how do we build a world that works for all, Monica?
Well, one of the things that I've just heard is where we need to start. And that is really not just respecting children, not just loving children, but listening to the youth in our world. You are amazing. I just am so impressed. I also think that we need to bring in the arts and how we share it. So Susan, I look forward to hearing the song a lot. And the fact that you listed both education and peace, when you talked about entrepreneurship and business, I couldn't help but think that that isn't exactly how the Sustainable Development Goals go. But the UN has designed the Sustainable Development Goals to be enacted. Particularly, this is the decade for real activation on the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. Kind of shows them there. And education is certainly one, but we have to really address poverty. We have to address the injustices. We need to feed people. We need to educate, and we also need for the equality of women. And my particular passion has been peace. And peace interacts with all of these because we have to create a culture of peace where we respect all life, where we really incorporate in how we live the impacts that we are making on others. When you think about the indigenous traditions and thinking about 7 generations, I mean, it's hard for me to even go back 7 generations. I think I know 4 or 5 generations back in my family. But thinking about how we are doing things and using our resources and how we are making friends and getting to know people. This is an incredible opportunity for us to meet people all around the world, but not through war, but through collaboration and peace and working together. And so we really need one another as we build a world that works for all, because a good percentage of the world has been built from a certain perspective, a framework that doesn't work for all. It's causing oppression, it's causing discrimination, it's violating human rights. And I've had the good fortune of being at the UN for many years as a non-governmental organization representative, or an NGO, and to see us going more collaboratively in the NGO and civil society unit to work for a unity around the things that can make a difference. And so I'm very excited to be here and to work in an intergenerational, a multicultural, and a very diverse grouping. So let's go. Let's hear these ideas and see where we go from here.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Monica. I appreciate your work, and I need to ask you, like, what does your day look like? Like, at being actively involved. What does that include for you?
Well, it depends on the day.
Right.
And right now for World Unity Week, and basically a lot since COVID, I, like all of you, have spent a lot of time on Zoom. We have what we call cooperation circles, and you must have 3 distinct religious or spiritual traditions working together on a locally chosen initiative. And so getting to know our cooperation circles around the world, and working directly in a few of them, involves Zoom meetings. It involves reaching out to people around the world and trying to connect them to the work of the UN. I used to travel a lot to go into New York, and that's been cut out. And being on Zoom and seeing people who have been so busy and so dedicated working with the needs that COVID has just caused. I think that my life has been one thing for this past year, and I'm not sure exactly where it's going to be going as we come out of this cocoon that we've been in. As a vaccinated person, I feel the privilege of that. I've been able to hug some of my grandchildren, and the others are coming at the end of this summer. I just can't wait to see them because they live in Germany, and I can't go there. I couldn't go there until now, and I don't even know if I can get there, but they're coming here to the United States. So thank you for asking about a day. I spend a lot of time on Zoom.
So
And
facilitating, right? You're facilitating, communicating, talking to
right.
people, connecting people with resources, I'm assuming, and other types of things where they can figure out how to support one another. Is that pretty much it?
I think some of it is more of a reporting on what people are doing. I wish I could say I matched resources to people. That has not been my gift. But letting people know that they can do things that not only make a difference both in their family or in their communities, but can be connected to a global community.
Yes.
Either by observing a day that's on the UN calendar, like today, it's International Yoga Day.
Uh-huh.
And we're coming into some other days in June. The other day it was World Refugee Day. There are over 200 designated days on the UN calendar. We have these amazing sustainable development goals. There are so many aspects to the United Nations that, even having been there for over 30 years, I can't even tell you a fraction of what goes on.
Oh my gosh.
But
Amazing.
connecting the individual to the world.
I'm going to call you, and I'm going to put a bug in your ear, but a couple of days we need to make official around this joint. And maybe you can help us facilitate what that looks like. And
I have a question for Monica.
okay.
So before we go on to other folks, do you want to talk about your role in the UN student observance of the International Day of Peace? And especially because in June, on June 13th, is the 100-day countdown to the International Day of Peace. So just for everyone to know, Monica has been at the center of helping to organize the student observance at the UN for the International Day of Peace. And you want to talk about that and paint the picture of what it looks like with 700 kids coming into the room and the video links to other places, the conflict areas.
What? Oh my gosh.
The International Day of Peace is designated to be September 21st annually. It shifts around when the UN actually observes it. And since 1997, I have been blessed to invite youth to come to the UN. And the last year, and again this year, it's going to be virtually. So we can have youth from Pakistan and Algeria come very easily. It doesn't cost anything to get on Zoom. And there is a process that I'd like to talk to you about to be a speaker at the UN International Day of Peace, because we need the voices of youth. And this theme this year was chosen to reflect the issues around COVID, but building back better, because we can't go back to what was. We know it didn't work for too many people. We have to build back better for a sustainable world. So there's a conversation that's being asked for by the UN that I'm going to have you help us really facilitate more as we work up to September 21st. And what we also includes not only addressing the COVID issues, but the hate speech that has been coming out of this, and the actions and discrimination against people. So trying to work with that. But we have to build a sustainable world. We have to recognize that this doesn't happen without a good environment. And so we absolutely need to pick issues. Know that very few people can do it all. But if you pick certain issues, your impact can be both so deep and so important that I really hope to be able to look back in a few months and say, these youth were at the International Day of Peace and invited other people to join us and had an opportunity to share their vision for building back better, a sustainable and just world. So that's our theme this year. We need you, and you're already doing it. So let us work together more closely to make it happen. And just to give you a little teaser, the day starts with the ringing of the peace bell by the Secretary General, and the Secretary General addresses the youth. And some youth get the opportunity to ask questions to the Secretary General. Others get the opportunity to share what their projects have been. And we have had a wide variety of youth and present, and they're always different. So just looking back isn't what we need to do. We need to look forward and to plant the seed in your head to apply. And I will put the information, I'll get it to Heidi to do it, because they don't want it just an open Zoom call for applications. But
Yeah.
That's great.
Okay. Mohammed, please mute yourself. I wanted to say something to Monica
I'm
for
sure
very
you
long.
So this morning, I have to tell her though, because here I am being your supporter over here. So this morning, Raheen co-hosted with Chief Looking Horse and myself, bringing in World Peace and Prayer Day, 26th annual. And a month ago, she was with the Dalai Lama, and she was chosen to also facilitate questions for the Dalai Lama. So she is becoming quite the little diplomat when it comes to this kind of thing, Monica. She'd be perfect.
Yeah.
I look forward to talking with you more and others, because we need to listen. I said that before. We're going to build a better world because we're going to listen to your ideas.
Yay. Yay.
So I wanted to say something. And so nice that you brought listening up, because I picked it up from when you first started talking. And I want to share an experience with you guys. I feel like listening to children around is very, very important. I mean, I know how it can be a bit, weird at times. And I know that it is because I have a super talkative brother at home that comes up with crazy ideas every second. Sometimes, yes, I get very annoyed, but sometimes I have to sit down and I have to listen to him, because it's important. It's important because the times that random people listen to me and my crazy ideas, because an 11-year-old pitching TV shows or talent, different things now that I think of it, and emergency services is very outrageous. It is. And people listen to me, I was the youngest incubated at the National Incubation Center here in Pakistan. I got incubated at the age of 11 for my idea. And it was just because I pitched that bill, and people still quote my pitch. And I'm like, oh my God, you still remember that? So it was an experience, and how people listened to me and my ideas and how I talked. And I know I talk with like a lot of different Netflix, I refer Netflix to like every single thing, and with examples and everything, but they listen. And that is when I feel the most loved, cared, and respected. Um, so I wanted to say that and add upon to what Monica said. And I have had a dream to speak at the UN for so long. What I do is, it's said, and my father supports it. It is to meditate on a happy thought or where you would want to be. And I picture myself in a smarty pants suit on the UN. So, like, this is me, like, putting on my fantasies into the world, but would love to be part in any way possible. Trust me, just to be on the screen is very nice for me. And in the future, maybe there could be traveling opportunities. We never know. So thank you so much, Monica, for even considering me or giving me a thought. And Heidi, my little friends, can connect us. And yeah, I mean, she connects me to most closest people ever that I now know. So
Thanks to all of you for your open hearts and willingness to communicate and work together. Yay. Awesome.
yeah, so I want to ask Susan about her friend that is in Afghanistan and could not join us, sadly. But we stand for peace and we stand united. So we are going to talk about him, and he is always going to be in our hearts and in our minds, especially throughout this session. So Susan, can you please tell about him and his great works in Afghanistan and in the world, I suppose?
Yeah, Afghanistan Women Council is just an amazing NGO. They have been doing amazing work for many years, over 30 years. And I really believe that the empowerment of women is the antidote to war, because empowered women, they raise peaceful children, peaceful sons, and they raise daughters that raise peaceful sons. And that's how it spreads. And so they've been working to empower women. And right now, it is a very challenging time. You may have been reading about it in the news. U.S. is pulling out troops, and there's a lot of political unrest and uncertainty. And it's a perilous time. War is encroaching. Taliban are making inroads. They're very well funded. And my friends there are very concerned and not quite sure what to do. So international support is very much needed. So what we're doing with Love, Peace, and Harmony Foundation is really the soul power. And I've been singing to Rasul, and he was going to try and teach the children there, but they're in lockdown right now because COVID is surging. So not only do they have the political situation, but they also have COVID, and they're very underserved. So there's a lot of challenges there, a lot of poverty, oppression. And I just would like to share that there are very, very good, wise, enlightened men and women there. Men like Rasul, who just amazes me. He is an ardent supporter of women's rights, and he's not the only man there. The founder is a woman named Fatana Gailani, and she's an Afghan feminist. She just amazes me. And the reason I got involved with Afghanistan Women Council is I got involved shortly after 9/11. This is my little story. I'm just a regular person, but shortly after 9/11, I got diagnosed with thyroid cancer. And I got surgery. And in early 2002, I was in the hospital getting radiation. I was in isolation, and I came with a stack of magazines to keep myself busy. One of them was an Oprah magazine, the March 2002 issue, I remember. And in it, there was a story of a journalist that traveled with her son, her 7-year-old son, to Afghanistan. And she interviewed the founder, Fatana. And I'm there reading that from my hospital bed in Hawaii. And I was just amazed. I mean, like many, I was thinking, why do they want to fly planes and kill us? You know, what is the reason? I want to know, who are you? And so I read and I started emailing Fatana, and that's how it started. I was so touched. And that's when I started to learn more about the role of women. And Afghanistan wasn't always oppressed. Women were actually supported, but there are influences that have moved in, the Taliban. And I don't want to get into that issue because it's a touchy subject, but they have been battling a long time. But I just want to share the kind of people that they are fighting so hard for their freedom. And there's just endless war and all these external forces with other countries that I would love to brainstorm with all of you wise old souls in our soul tribe, all on the same page, and see if we can do something to help them. So I invite you to learn more by going to their website, afghanistanwomencouncil.org, and see what I see. I can connect you with them and see what we can do to help them. So that's a little bit, and there's a video that I submitted to you, Heidi. I don't know if you have time to play it, but sometimes a video, a picture can explain a lot more than what I can do. So I don't know if you can share screen and play it for a little bit if there's time.
Yeah, I think that maybe we could have Mohammed speak or Rick speak, and I can dig it out of the email because I didn't have it pulled up, but I can definitely do that. And I just have to tell you, like I'm very touched by the way to have a representative who's a real life breathing person is huge. And I know you think the video will probably do better than you, but I don't think so. Like I'll pull it out and we'll do it, but you know, to have someone who loves and cares for people, it's like it's very touching. And what I immediately want to do is to reach out to them and remind them that even if they can just plant that seed in their heart and keep that seed lit and then use their imagination to imagine themselves into something else amidst the fear and the chaos, that is strong medicine. Strong medicine. The strongest medicine on earth is in the heart of every person. And then when they connect the tool of the mind to the heart, it can transform miracles. Miracles. Guns can melt, skies can break open, things can change. And that's the linchpin to transformation. So if we can somehow get them that message so that they don't feel disempowered anymore, I think that is the very, 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 very first step, is to get them connected with their heart and to recognize that that power is within them. So that's what I have to say about this. And I will put them all in my prayers. And I asked you for a list of their needs. I have a great return rate on my prayers, literally like days to weeks if it's huge, and it's these things they can happen. They can happen. Things can end. Things can change. Things can transform. And I know when something gets into a wound and festers for so long, it seems like it's never going to end, but it can and it will. And peace will prevail. It will. It will. All right.
Yeah.
So, in the name of
I wanted to say something to Susan. I just want to say you are one brave woman, and you kicked cancer's butt. So love you for that. And you know how you love everybody around you and care for everybody around you. You know, I always count my blessings every now and then. You know, when I'm on I was on a break, I counted my blessings. You know, and the next one I'm gonna take, I'm gonna count Susan Aragaki as one of my blessings and one of the blessings to the world. Thank you so much, Susan, for being the very loving and compassionate person that you are in the world.
Thank you so much, all of you. And Raheen, I'm so impressed with you, and to you too, Mohammed. You children are just amazing. They're so articulate, and you're naturals at doing this. And I would love for you to start a children's movement in Afghanistan. I can kind of see that happening. So let's continue the dialogue.
I actually have a very nice friend that hails from Afghanistan and is a very famous TV show host there. So I can definitely pull a few strings and check out how that can be a possibility. But Susan, you dream, you care for people around you, and we all and the world will try to make it a possibility for sure. Thank you so much.
And I had a meeting last week with a very big change maker on the planet about making an international children's peace choir with the song One. So it looks like that's going to move ahead. It's a huge undertaking, but I think that that's what I'm going to be focusing on for the next year till June next year is this international children's peace choir. So let's get Afghanistan involved in there also because we can sing at the very least. Yeah, that's great. I got the video pulled up too. So. Rick, would you like to give us some? Oh, these times go so quickly. It's 5:52 already. We have
I
another
know.
5 minutes. Oh my gosh.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
Rick, come
Yeah,
on.
I know there's so much to talk about, and it's so great
No.
to hear everybody. And the first thing I thought of when you mentioned the choir was one of the partners that helped to launch 11 Days of Global Unity back in 2004 was Gemma Boulos, and she went around the world with the Million Voice Choir. She collected choirs in 80 countries,
Oh, great. See, the
and they sang "We Rise"
Oh, yeah.
at I think it was 9 p.m. in every time zone, leading up to the launch, the hub event of 11 Days, where Jane Goodall and Marianne Williamson gave back-to-back keynote speeches, and Amnesty International was there, and so many others. So maybe you could have the Million Kids Choir or
Oh,
something like
please.
that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That would
So
lighten
nice.
the workload right there. We'd be off to a running start. That
And
would-
Gemma sang at the UN for the International Day of Peace.
oh,
Oh wow, yeah, I forgot about that.
all right.
Yes.
Well, we've got some work ahead of us that won't.
Right. So
Very
one thing I
nice.
want to mention before we finish is that, the mission statement of We the World is to maximize social change globally until we have a world that works for all. So that's what we are doing. We create programs, platforms, and campaigns to make that happen. And one of them is a magazine, an online magazine. It's called Trends. And the full title is Trends in Global Grassroots Organizing. So what I wanted to invite you all to submit an article, or it could be a video, or anything that could be part of an online publication that talks about what you're doing. And the next issue will be in September, in time for 11 Days of Global Unity. If you go to trends.we.net, so it's trends.we.net, and any article that you submit between now and September, we will put that up immediately. We will call that a trend report. So it could be on any of the areas that you have been talking about: Afghanistan, human rights, women's empowerment, youth empowerment, peace, disarmament, abolishing nuclear weapons, all of these things, because it all has to come together for us to have peace, justice, sustainability, and transformation on our planet.
Amazing. So nice, what you just said. Yeah.
Mohammed hasn't spoken.
I know. Muhammad, what do you
Okay,
think?
so thank you very much. I enjoyed this whole entire hour of listening to your ideas on how we can make the world better, and I'm pretty sure that people on Facebook have enjoyed it too. So here's my perspective on how we can make the world a better place and make the world work for all. Put 50 lines under all. So basically, I think that in a way, there's not a political way to make it work for all. There's not a scientific way to make it work for all. There's not a spiritual, religious, social way. No, there's only a humane way to make the world work for all. So anybody that is a human that's living, breathing, eating, and doing what humans do, you can make a world that works for all, because it all depends on our actions. It all depends on our reactions, because when the ball hits, it bounces back. If you throw it harder, it bounces back harder. So if you throw goodness, and if you throw the great probabilities and the great dreams at life as hard as you can, it comes back even harder. So that's why you've got to take a chance and fight the challenges, go to the challenges, and learn more from life and understand, because that's a part of my thing. Motivating is it's like a part-time job.
Good on you, brother.
Amazing.
Nice work, Mohammed. I know, the older the people, the more motivation they need. So don't give up. Keep going. You're doing a fantastic job. All day you've been on board with us. What a good teammate you are. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
love and for continuing to move them out in the world. Wow. What a graceful, beautiful, honorable, gratitude-filled time I've had with you all today. Thank you for everything. It's just amazing.
Heidi, can I end with a prayer? A
Absolutely.
very short one. And it holds some really good thoughts that can go for motivational speakers.
Okay.
It's on nuclear. It's called the nuclear prayer.
Okay.
The beginning and the end are in your hands, O creator of the universe. And in our hands, you have placed the fate of this planet. We who are tested by both creative and destructive power in our free will, turn to you in sober fear and in intoxicating hope. We ask for your guidance and to share in your imagination in our deliberations about the use of nuclear force. Help us to lift the fog of atomic darkness that hovers so pervasively over our earth, your earth, so that soon all eyes may see life magnified by your pure light. Bless all of us who wait today for your presence and who dedicate ourselves to achieve your intended peace and rightful equilibrium on earth, in the name of all that is holy and all that is hoped. Amen.
Amen.
May peace
Amazing.
prevail on earth.
Thank you.
I'm like, in our hearts.
Wonderful.
I think we achieved our goal of inspire, inform, and involve. Three eyes that make a we. So we can go from a me society to a we society.
Yeah. And let's teach our children well so that they don't repeat the horrors of the past, because those are good enough where they are as learning lessons. Thank you so much for joining us today. You have been a part of International Children's Month Global Day of Action for our 9th year.
What an
Have a
honor.
blessed and beautiful life. We look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you
Thank you
all.
so much.
Thank you so much.
You're beautiful.
Aloha.
Bye-bye.
Aloha.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Aloha.
Okay, bye.